said that,
Very
it just
much
takes
so.
me back to we value material things.
There you go.
Because we never had it.
But we have the lowest income.
Right. We have the lowest income.
We actually have the lowest. We have the lowest. Mexicans have a higher income than we do, higher median income than we do. Yes, Latino. I'm sorry. Let's put them out. Yeah, Hispanics and Latinos. Yes.
Sean, we still stuck in slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Sean.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with Ms. Ebony on the education component. That's one of the reasons I'm literally creating a boarding school, so we can put the emphasis on education. But teaching people, and I'll just use this as an example. Growing up watching TV, we were exposed. I was exposed to basketball, football, all these different entertainers, things of that nature. So you have to essentially reprogram your mind to get out of that condition. Like I literally stopped watching football before the whole Kaepernick situation went over because it was a waste of my time. I was putting 6 hours into watching another man pursue his dream instead of building mine.
No, that's good.
And as a community, we need to get that. We need to get that paradigm shift as a collective, but we don't have it. So we need to have formal education, but more importantly, in my opinion, informal education. The things you need to do, the things that we don't get taught in traditional school, like how to leverage stocks and bonds, how to leverage our collective buying power, which is over $1.5 trillion. We need to learn how to leverage those things, and that's where it all starts, education. But we don't, as a collective, we don't talk about the informal education that we get from home.
Tia?
That's good. You know, I absolutely agree with everyone in terms of what you guys have said, and I agree. Take our money and focus it somewhere else. And you're right, we're not taught how money works in schools, and so we feel like we don't have a goal. It's like I'm always going to be poor. I'm never going to be able to do anything. So that instant gratification of at least I'm going to look good, you know, at least I'll be on trend, instead of us saying, you know what, I'm not going to spend that money, but I'm going to put it somewhere that's going to create my legacy, that's going to create wealth for my family, even after I'm gone. So I think it starts at home. I think it also starts with individuals like me, Sassy C, and everybody sitting around the table to just start spreading the word, to start talking to people. You know, just saying, hey, did you know X, Y, Z? And we may think that people don't want to hear that, but they do. So I think education, informal education, word of mouth, and just saying, you know what, let me tell a story that you may not have heard.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
So, when I drive Lyft, and I have, when I get black passengers, I intentionally drive on the Far East side. And I asked them, I was like, hey, can I ask you a quick question? If you were to attend a financial literacy workshop, a free bi-weekly financial literacy workshop, what would you want to learn? I hear credit, stocks and bonds, real estate, how to save, budget, manage money, etc. But I was like, okay, these are some resources that I used. I went to YouTube University and learned a lot of stuff that I did. And that's and I'm like, okay, you can go to, I was like, one time a guy was like, oh, I want to learn how to start a business. Like an elder of mine, probably like 20, 30 years older than me. I was like, okay, well, you can, he's like, I want to know how much it costs. Like, it's probably, depending on what entity you want to start, the LLC is just under $100. He's like, oh, I never knew that. I was like, then I said, one of my mentors told me, don't make your smartphone dumb. Everybody has a smartphone, just don't make it dumb. And we don't, it's just the little complexities that are not complex, that people think are so complex. It's just so simple. Just keep it simple. Just keep it so simple.
James, I'm going to have you in because I know you got a lot to say.
I've been there. This is the one.
James, yeah. Now, I think we're going to go to commercial break after James, and then we're going to come back and have you in.
Right.
Yeah. So, James.
Okay. One of the quotes that kind of caught my attention was the black dollar is the black power. And that was a quote that I just read. And after I thought about it, I was like, wow, honestly, that's really true. Because most of our money that we put in is really a lot of our power. And so I think when we're really looking at, like, leveraging those actually, even to go back to the question just before that, because actually I thought, is many times with these companies, we don't actually challenge their policies. So even though they're supposed to have these equal opportunity policies, we are not challenging the policies for most of these companies whenever they are doing things like this. But and so with that, we have the power to say, okay, since y'all don't want to, take on y'all policies and things that you're saying that you're going to do these equal opportunity policies, well, we're going to take our dollar away. If we learn to actually do that together, just like how H&M got hit, we can do that together and actually work something out. And then those companies can feel and then even those people that are in those positions, we also we look for apologies all the time. I think that's a lot of our issue too. Because sometimes they can say, "Oh, I'm sorry for this," or they send out some type of apology, and they just think everything is okay, and we're just supposed to go back to buying them. But if we actually say, okay, even though you gave an apology, what happened to that worker that did that?
Right.
Did that worker actually get repercussions? Did that worker get fired? We don't actually push to get that person out.
Right.
We actually say, oh, okay, well, they sent out, what else happened after that? That's what I want to know.
And I really I want to know what happened to the guy who designed the blackface sweater. So we're gonna go to commercial real quick, pay some bills. We'll be right back. You're tuned in to Let's Go There with Sassy C and Tia.
Do you need an affordable orthodontist? Contact Geist Orthodontics. We are a family-oriented orthodontic practice. We offer both metal and clear braces at no extra charge, as well as Invisalign. We also offer complimentary exams and records. We have super affordable pricing. Ask about our low down payments and monthly payment plans. Bring your kids. Sign them up for our kids club, Surfing the 7 Seas of Smiles. Contact us at 317-823-8338 or visit our office at 8140 Oaklandon Road, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46236. Geist Orthodontics.
And we are back. So we are going to finish up that question with Mr. Marshawn's going to give us his thoughts about how do we leverage our buying power to collectively make an impact.
Okay, so 1957, E. Franklin Frazier, a African-American sociologist trained from the University of Chicago, talks about this idea called conspicuous consumption, and he's writing about the black bourgeoisie. And what's important about the black bourgeoisie as a book is that it could the ideas that he delineated could apply to any middle class, right? But he did us a favor by kind of really looking at the African American community and why we maybe make certain purchases because of our desire to manage our perceptions amongst our peers. The bigger concern that I had is with this idea of buying power is I feel like it is a marketing tool that is actually very misleading. Let's think about power. When I buy, I'm about to, because I really this is one of my things that bothers me. So when you buy something, it's either like a durable good or it is a consumable good that you're gonna, you buy cereal, it's over, it's done. Durable, it's gonna last for a little while, it's gonna be there. But you basically gave your money to someone else to build their wealth, right? So I think we heard the number, $1.5 trillion. Mm-hmm. We give $1.5 trillion of our dollars to someone else. That is not power. Mm-hmm. That is relinquishing of your power. Folks come to us and they say, leverage your buying power. Now, if we when they're saying leverage your buying power, there's this. I think there's this idea that is seductive that if we buy enough of this company's materials, they will respond to us and maybe stop using monkeys as a part of their design elements. Okay, fine, but they're still taking your money. You're still giving your money to them. That is not power. I think we get played in this concept where we talk about our buying power and the fact that we're really doing something when we're really not. We're really not. We're really hurting ourselves. Another way of thinking about this is how frequently does a dollar circulate in a community? And so within Asian communities, the dollar stays in that community and it moves and it moves. But in the black community, if we're using $1.5 trillion, we're pushing that out to other people, and we're not getting anything from it other than maybe a durable good that is eventually we're going to have to give away, or a consumable good that we just consume. So I think we would do ourselves well to really kind of reevaluate this concept of buying power and stay just kind of pump the brakes on that, because that's not really, it is not power. There's no sense in which I think it's powerful.
So for my power person sitting at the end, you know I was going to come to you, right? Oh, yeah. So just talk a little bit about power in general and what that looks like.
So from our end, like power starts like when you're born, and you cultivate your power up until you're 16 years of age. And your power comes from education, your parents, the media, church, faith, religion, and school. And so depending on where you were growing up between the ages of 0 to 16, you have and create this sense of values and missions and then your power. And if your power is not strengthened within that time frame, when you get past 16, you start using whatever they give you to help determine your power, which means that when we start talking about buying power and marketing and things like that, when they hit these 16-year-olds, our generation, Generation X, with the radio and the TV, and we started getting the computers and the commercials that started coming out, the videos, music videos, it started to change who we were and what we were thinking and what we thought was actually a part of our values. So when our values got distorted, so did our power. And so that has happened to us now. So now that we're older and we have the next level of money marking, it's changing. And that's why some of these individual companies have so much control over what we do. And it's not because we may not know it. It's just because that's where we grew. That's where our minds started putting ourselves into it.
You done opened up a whole box of Pandora's box. When you talk about that 0 to 16 is where our power is formed. You can take that and look at collectively the conditions of our people between that 0 to 16, from education to from healthcare, from mental health, housing. So I don't want to be a conspiracist either, but it's designed for us to not have, we all know, power. So yeah,
but it also comes in. It's how it comes in.
Right.
So if you look at generations, if we start looking at the individuals in the 60s and individuals in the 50s, they got their power from, or their information and their values from church and faith and family. When we got, the older you get, the different generations, the change happens. So it depends on where you got most of your information from. In the 70s babies, we got it from education. And then we also got it from media because we were latchkey kids. We sat at home.
Sure did.
We were in front of the TV. They was feeding us all these different commercials. And then the 80s babies, when the commercial or the videos started coming out, when they started MTV videos, Yo MTV Raps, they were getting fed because media became important, more important than religion, right? And so now religion is like all the way down at the bottom, right? Family is second to religion. Media, friends, and education is like up at the top. So let's look at where that stuff is coming in, and then that's driving how they're thinking. And if we don't fix that early, it's really hard to change that when you're getting older, because then you don't know where your power dynamics are. And so then that's when you start hearing people say, oh, well, they took our power away, or we don't have any power. No, you got the same power you had when you was a baby. You just don't know how to recognize it and how to utilize it in the right way.
That's good. I want to go back to the Floyd and his shenanigans, and that's the issue. I think you brought that up. They know that we are going to purchase anyway. It's like they can do whatever they want to. They know it's going to be some Negro out there that's going to go against the grain and go by anyway. So let's talk about what I'm just trying to figure out. What was Floyd even think? Now he knows what's going on. He's just so gone.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Why are we in a position where we see all of this and we just kind of turn a blind eye and like, well, I'm gonna go buy my Gucci anyway.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, I'm sorry to say that, I think the biggest thing is that we are allowing ourselves to lump all of ourselves in with these big general statements. Why can't we do this? Why can't we do this? Or we don't know how, or we can't, monopolize, or we are not strengthened enough. I think if we stop doing that and we really just start pinpointing to certain people, pinpointing to certain situations and naming it as it, then it takes away from that group of why we can't do this because Mayfair, he's just one guy. He did that, but then so did T.I. But we're not talking about T.I. We're saying why we can't get along because we just say, well, why we can't follow behind T.I. because T.I. said stop buying it. You know, so we just have to quit lumping it up together because when we keep doing that, then we keep getting generalized.
I agree with that. In part, like, so going